Hello, New Owl students. Mr. H here with a little video for you on this rainy day, Thursday, what is today? The 8th of August. So this is just a little quick video update for you to check in on you, see how you're doing, and give you a couple of things to think about as you are at home if you are able to do it, or if you're interested in doing it, just a couple of things to think about as you are home alone or home for this rain. So first things first, here's Thursday, August 8th. Most of this stuff, like all of our helpers, will be just moving to tomorrow, as if we're in school tomorrow. Most of the work that we're going to be doing, don't worry about it. We're going to work on that tomorrow. But two things I do want you to think about, well, three things I want you to think about. One, I want you to think about the review question, which we did yesterday, the one about your personal timeline being a primary or a secondary source. Remember, we talked about the fact that if that timeline that you built is just about you, it's probably primary source. But if things are happening before you were born, it might have some secondary source on it as well. So think about that as you are answering that question, because it will be on tomorrow's essential question exit ticket quiz, and that one's going to count for a grade. So you want to be careful and know those essential questions. Remember, you can always go back using that tool to older questions and older things if you're confused, okay? So a couple of other things I want you to think about. Number one, our personal timeline project, remember, is due for next Monday, so you have a couple of days to work on it. Today would be a great day to get it finished. So remember, that's in modules. If you roll down to your personal timeline practice, it'll bring up this assignment. And remember, you need to make sure you're doing all of it and you're doing all of it correctly. So take a look at this. Let me just open it up for you again and we'll review this a little bit. So remember, on slide number 2, you have 3 parts. You have part 1, which is historic labels. So make sure you've got those A, D, B, C, C, E figured out. There's a video there if you need help. Number 2 is answering these 4 questions. The answers are right here on this timeline, right above it, as it says in the directions. And then part 3, which is the tricky part, is putting these 8 events in chronological order from the oldest, which we said in class yesterday was Hammurabi's Code in 1754 BCE. That's 1,754 years before Jesus was born. That's the oldest, and then putting them in order all the way up to the newest event, or the event that happened closest to us, which is right here, the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, 1760, and that's AD, that's after Jesus was born. Don't forget, you have to add 2 events after that, because there's only 8, so that's going to get you to right here, this green box. You need to add two new ones after that you pick. So it can be anything from history. It just has to be after the Industrial Revolution. So it could be the World Wars, it could be 9/11, it could be the, Bears win the Super Bowl, whatever it is that's interesting to you, those last 2 dates, but make sure they're in the correct order, okay? Then you get into your personal timeline. This is where it's all about you, important things that have happened to you or family members or the world around you in this time. So this personal timeline, again, has 10 events. It can be that it starts with your birth and then 9 events after that, or it could be that your birth is maybe in the middle and there are things happening before you and then after you. Just make sure that you have them in the correct chronological order. You wouldn't want to put your birth and then put mom's birth after you. That's in the wrong order. So, something to think about. Make sure you get this done. I know some of you have finished this. If you have finished this, make sure you hit submit in Canvas so that I can use my speed grader over here to take a look at it and grade it. One more thing for you to play with today, if you are interested, is this. Back in modules, there is a warm-up for you. So that warm-up is a vocabulary warm-up. If you want to go and play a Blooket game, there's a link right here to a Blooket game. When you open it up, it's going to give you a place to put in your nickname and then go through and play the game. And it's the vocabulary that we are doing with Thinking Like a Historian. Today's Thursday. We always do vocabulary on Thursday. So if you want to go and do that, you're certainly welcome to. So you've got your warm-up on booklet that you could do on vocabulary, work on your timeline, think about the essential question tickets if you are interested. If not, have a wonderful free day off, and I'll see you, hopefully, fingers are all crossed, back at school tomorrow. Hopefully the weather isn't too bad where you're living right now and you're not without power or anything's bad happening to your roof, but we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.